Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Groove is in the heart.
Oh, my.
Just joking. Hello, and welcome back to the All Book Podcast. We are your Ridgewood Public Librarians, and we are back for another episode drop. This is going to broadcast November 5th, and we are in our 6th season, episode 2. And I'm going to kick us off. Woo-woo! Okay, so I need everybody to stay with me because this book is doing a lot. So I did Skin by our girl here, Zoboi. So I read Pride, and we're going to talk about that in another podcast in the future. She impressed me there. She is doing so much in this one, and it's fabulous. So it's a contemporary fantasy based off of Caribbean folklore. Okay. So I need you guys to just suspend belief for a little bit. It is basically a story about skin-shedding witches who turn into fireballs at night that suck the life force out of their victims.
Basically, that's what it's about.
That's what, again, she's doing a lot. So in, the islands, in Trinidad, they're referred to as the Sukoyon. In Haiti, loups-garous, and in Jamaica and Barbados, they're like old hags or just hags in general. But it's kind of like a weird mix between vampires and witches. And, basically they live alone, often in like the woods or the forest. And every time there's a full moon, they kind of shed their skin, and they need it to survive. But this book, in general, is about two girls who are basically, one is well known into her power and what she's doing, and the other one is literally trying to navigate all the changes without knowing that she is what she is. So not to give too much away, because a lot of it really pushes the book along, and like if I say anything more, it's going to ruin like the plot, everything. But basically, our two protagonists are Marisol and Genevieve, and basically you find them, it's alternating voices, and Marisol is the younger of the two, and she has been living with her mother and basically kind of moving around from resort to resort, trying to kind of keep a low profile, but yet like every month they have to go through this thing and they have to seek revenge and basically like do their thing, right? So how do you keep a low profile when everybody on the islands kind of know what you're about? So they move to America and try a life here, but complications happen as they often do. And they ended up living in Genevieve's house. The mother becomes the nanny of the two twins that are currently Genevieve's stepbrothers through another mom marriage. And, it's kind of scary because Genevieve has this like crazy skin condition. And just to give you guys an idea, the book describes them both a lot of times as night and day. So Marisol is the darker skinned. She's, sometimes, just they're like complete opposites. She's doing so much in just the contrasting of this novel. It's so beautifully done. And Genevieve is this lighter skin. She's beautiful. She sometimes gets referred to as the princess of the two. And as the story progresses, you find how their stories are intertwined, how they come into their power. And towards the end, it gets crazy, because again, every so often they have to shed their skin. So they're just floating around. And what happens when you don't go back to your skin?
Yeah, your skin is kept safe for you.
So good. So I highly, highly, highly recommend it. I loved reading it. And then I found that it was actually available on Hoopla. So I listened to it as after I read it. Fantastic. There's so much going on with like identity and just how you see yourself and others, and this just whole other conversation she's having about like dark and how dark is always like ugly and you forget about it and it's evil and it's a monster, whereas like things that are lighter skin are beautiful, like even in like everything. So there's a lot going on in this book. She does it so well, and there's so much like teenage angst, and the voices are just so real. I loved it. I could not put it down. So highly, highly, highly recommend.
It's gotten a ton of really good reviews too.
Because it's definitely, it's worth it. It's worth the read. It's fast. It's honestly a novel in verse, so it's perfect. So read it.
Long and the short of it, read it. All right. So I read Angeline Boulley, I think I'm saying that right, her new book, which is called Sisters in the Wind. This is the author of Firekeeper's Daughter.
Also a really good read.
Also an amazing read. And Warrior Girl on Earth, which still sticks with me. I still find myself mulling over some things from that one. And it's set in the same world. If you're not familiar with Boulley, she writes about Native peoples, in particular Ojibwe. And she does a great job, in my opinion, of bringing up topics, issues that are faced by Native peoples that I personally knew nothing about. NAGPRA was one of them. That's the one from Warrior Girl on Earth. That's the Native American Graves Protection and Repatriation Act. This one has to do with the Indian Child Welfare Act. So Indian schools and also adoptions.
Which
mainly.
is a very hot topic.
It's a hot topic, and when you're reading this, I don't feel like I'm being instructed. It doesn't feel didactic. It feels like a story, and you're learning through the empathy of what your characters are going through, which I think is really beautifully done. I think she does this in all three books really well. So it's the same world, but now our protagonist in this one is Lucy. And Lucy it's two timelines. So when we start in the beginning, Lucy is working in a cafe and she thinks someone's figured out who she is and she's on the run.
She's so badass, by the
we
way.
Don't know.
The way that she's described, she's so badass.
Yeah. And we don't know what she's on the run from. But she's like, okay, my cover's blown, time to move. I've become an expert in this and how to keep going. Before she can actually get anywhere, there's a bomb in the cafe she's working in. And she ends up in the hospital. She's got a severely broken leg. And there are two people who she doesn't know who are claiming they know her. It's Donis from Firekeeper's Daughter and Jamie. And they say that Lucy is Donis's former best friend or late best friend's daughter. So it's Lily's daughter. So Donis has been looking everywhere for Lucy. Yeah, I'm sorry, am I ruining it?
You did. You spoiled it for me. That's okay.
So
wow.
Anyway,
I'm sure this happened in the first
this
like
all
5
happens
chapters.
very quickly.
Okay, cool,
This all he even when Jamie is interviewing her, he accidentally refers to her as Lily, and she's like, "It's Lucy."
That's okay. I did not catch that. Thank you.
So
wow,
she doesn't know who her mom is or anything else. She was raised by a single white father who the only thing he ever said about her mom, she says she learned something when she was like 6, 9, and she figures she would have learned something at her next birthday, but her father passed away. He said she's not Native, which she was, and he says that some women shouldn't be mothers.
Oh.
So she really gets no info on her mom, but not a good image of this woman. And now she's woken up in the hospital. She's terrified because she's on the run. She's got these people who revere her late mother, who she's always really kind of disparaged. And she's coming to terms with the fact that she's Native.
Oh, I just got chills.
Right? So there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, she's like, I got to get out of here. They found me. Yeah. And you have no idea who they are. We go back and forth in timelines. We learn about her family or her father, I guess. And then we start to get her story slowly unfolding bit by bit. She keeps you like, I'll just read one more page. I'll just
love it.
Maybe I'll figure it out in the next page. Maybe we're going to find who, why, and all sorts of great, I don't want to say gimmicks, all sorts of great methods to keep you really engaged. And I read Propulsive about a book a month or two ago, and that describes this one to me.
Nice.
Like you feel like you're compelled to keep reading. The story propels you to read one more. You do learn that she was in the foster system and had some good experiences, some not so good experiences. That's a lot of the ICWA, or the Indian Child Welfare Act, that's in here. There's also, with the bomb in the cafe, Jamie, who's FBI, and Donis are trying to keep her safe because suspicion's starting to fall on her that she may have said it. And you learn some things in her background. So
that
anyway,
makes people believe that that could be a possibility.
Right. I think, so as I said, I think Angeline Boulley does an amazing job of teaching you things without it feeling like you're sitting in a school, being taught. But I think it's her characters that
100%.
really keep me reading. I mean, I was so excited when Donis was back. Yeah. And there's the whole Donis Jamie thing. And if you read her second book, Warrior Girl Unearthed, this one seems to take place in between the two.
Okay.
So they're written kind of out of chronological order. There's references to Perry and Pauline, but they seem to be younger than they were in Warrior Girl Unearthed. Okay. Which I found pretty cool too. I loved this book. I think that it is masterfully told. I told you I love the characters. It to me has sort of all the earmarks of the kind of book that you could read if you're, I'm going to say 15, 16, or if you're 50 or 60.
Nice.
We've got a teen character, but I think so much of what's in this book could be an adult book.
Yeah, her
maybe
style.
not.
Yeah, her style is definitely, it reads like a true crime novel to me. Like you just get really invested in the characters and the story, and she just does have a way with words that you just want to keep. She does. Yeah, you're right. I genuinely, and you don't have to read. The first.
They're all three standalone that you can read them. I mean, I wouldn't read this one before you read Firekeeper if you're going to read both. But if you haven't read Firekeeper and weren't planning on it, you could read this. You're just going to know a little bit. Yeah.
Please read it because it is definitely worth the read. If you want to get into the world of Angeline Boulley, that definitely starts off with the Firekeeper's
It's an amazing
daughter.
one. You will learn some things about that story.
You get to meet Adonis. Adonis is the best.
Adonis is pretty awesome. So that's my my recommendation.
I'm excited. I started it this weekend, so I'm ready. Obviously, I didn't get far, but I,
Well, keep reading.
I will.
All right, so to continue on the vein of recommendations for Indigenous Heritage Month next
all right,
month.
there it is. I didn't even think of that.
That is on point,
Rosa.
friends.
Thank you.
I didn't get the memo, but it's okay.
No, that's good. It's
Marginalized
also,
groups.
Yeah, exactly. And indigeneity is also
that's true.
Yeah,
a theme there, I'm sure. So, so for this one, we are in the world of Avery, who is a normal teenage girl. I believe she is of Mohawk Canadian descent. She lives with her mom, a single mother who's raising her, and her aunt visits a lot. Her aunt has early onset Alzheimer's, but thing she loves about spending time with her aunt is her aunt tells her stories about their people. And it opens up to when Avery is running very early in the morning to practice. I believe she's a track star. And she is in the forest, and for some reason, something leads her to a pond. And this pond has been rumored all over town. It has legends around it, but nobody actually has seen it, and nobody and the legends say that if you come across it, do not trust the water because the water is black.
The water.
Okay.
Something happens. She doesn't remember what, but she runs home because she's terrified. And from then on, mysterious things start happening. Townspeople start disappearing. She hears voices, and she somehow has a feeling she knows what's happening to the disappearing. So when somebody very important to her disappears, she has to find where that person has been taken, and to do that, she has to go back to the stories from the elders of her people. So this one is marketed as horror, but I would say this is very horror light. It's not super scary, just a little, just creepy.
Just enough creep to get you to give
so
you the
it's good for
chills.
spooky season for anybody looking for a horror light. And honestly, I think the themes of reconnection, reclamation, and are much stronger than like the horror of like what's going on.
I'm sorry, what was it called? Did I miss it?
The Unfinished.
The Unfinished.
By Cheryl Isaacs.
Okay.
I had thought when I finished this that this was a standalone. There's a sequel.
Of course.
So if you want your entire month to be all Indigenous voices, you have
yeah.
these books now.
Definitely.
She wrote something. This isn't her debut, is it?
I think she wrote something else. I don't know if it's YA though.
Oh, okay.
Because it sounds familiar. So she wrote something in an Indigenous Voices anthology.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I did read that one.
Okay.
I like
The legendary Fry Bread Drive-In.
That's a new one, yeah, or newish.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
All right. Cool.
Awesome. Hopefully you folks listening or tuning in are going to pick up some recommendations from us this month. And Olivia, we're going to
Answer more questions.
Throw it to you. What's a question? What do you got?
Yeah. Okay. So these questions were submitted via our Instagram, which is at Ridgewood Library _Youth Services. So if you have more questions,
Click that follow.
Yeah. Follow us. Like us.
Like us. Love us.
Or go ahead and submit more questions.
Yes. Yeah, that too.
So this first one is from at Wild Serenity Walks. And they say, how or can you separate the art from the artist when the authors turn out to be horrible humans?
Ugh, gosh. That's a good one.
I was just having this conversation with one of my sons because he's a Devil's fan, and the Devil's Goal song used to be a Gary Glitter song, and they dropped it because Gary Glitter's not, the best human being out there. But I feel like, I don't know how you do it, but I feel like we should
100%.
make those, separate them, because I mean, obviously there's extremes, but there's a lot of authors who I don't think I would necessarily like as a person.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the product of their work, whether it's music or it's a book or it's an actor, is its own being. You know, they're almost like the parent of the work.
Okay, I get it. Honestly, for me, I agree. There are lots of authors now. The first person that came to my mind was Neil Gaiman. I mean, I love Neil Gaiman growing up. Coraline, The Sandman Chronicles, Good Omens, American Gods. Like, anything he wrote, I devoured because I just loved the writing. But then, all this weird stuff came up, and now he's not a very good person. So I tend to agree. I think there should be in line, if you can do it, to set aside, because again, it is their art, right? But writers, artists, musicians, everybody, they're humans too, right? With as many complications and baggage as you can possibly imagine. But they wrote these things, they made and produced these things at a certain time in their life where they weren't thinking about their audience. Right. They were thinking about the things they wanted to get out of their head.
And they weren't necessarily promoting their beliefs in the work. I mean, I'm thinking also of J.K. Rowling.
That was the second person that went in my head.
So, I mean, I don't feel like, and maybe there is and I've missed it, but I don't feel like there's any transphobic material in Harry Potter. I may have missed it, but I didn't feel like there was an axe to grind that she was, inculcating us into her beliefs or anything.
Obviously now she's very vocal about it.
Yes.
And, you know, and that's fine for her to voice her opinions. I don't necessarily agree.
Right.
But, you know, I will still give an 11-year-old Harry Potter
Right.
if, you know, they are looking for an introduction to magic.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, that doesn't mean I'm a fan of her.
Right.
I'm a fan of her work.
Rosa's awfully quiet.
Awfully quiet over there.
That can't be good.
Oh no. I respectfully disagree.
Oh,
Okay.
That's fine. This is what we're here for.
Yeah, I think it might. I don't know. This isn't to call anybody out. It's just, I think it's more comfortable to set a line rather than to acknowledge that no work of art is perfect, and to engage with art is to engage with the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Okay.
And I think it might be a little disingenuous to only accept the good without the bad. When you said there's no hint of transphobia in the series by She Who Must Not Be Named.
Amazing.
I was actually thinking of this, and Rita Skeeter is, I know like the image of Miranda Richardson is kind of transposed on our image,
Yes.
but the book character was described in quote unquote masculine terms.
Yes.
And villainized. And then you have, you know, the dormitory stairs.
Right.
And that one time Ron tries to run up to the girls.
Right. And it turns into a
dorms.
slide.
Yeah.
But Hermione can get up to the boys' rooms.
Yeah, there's something, there's definitely a line between, there's definitely a gender binary set in that world.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying.
And she might not have been aware of it at the time. And her radicalization came after the success of the books, after the books were finished. But her perspective is limited. She's one person.
Yeah.
Another one, I would say, Neil Gaiman, I'm sure if you hunted through
I'm
his
sure.
works,
I'm sure.
there would be hints.
Oh, no, of course.
But
I think-
aren't there going to be, we don't maybe know Cheryl Isaacs. It's her debut. So maybe there's problems in her life, or
for
maybe
sure.
Angeline Boulley. And, you know, so how do we...
The thing is, I've always been, I would say I've trained myself, but I'm still training myself to, even with the works I enjoy, I've always been sort of upfront about acknowledging things that have made me uncomfortable about this, or things about that bled through because of the author's limits in their perspective. I think that's I think the best way to engage with like text is just to take it as what it is, and it is the author's work. It is their ideas, experiences, and beliefs that have shaped it. And for me, there's just no way to separate that. The thing about harm is that, unfortunately, we live in a capitalistic society, so money speaks.
Right.
And to give money to somebody who uses that money to actively harm marginalized and disenfranchised groups is where, like, I sort of draw the line.
Right.
Sort of like, okay, I cannot support this. Like,
No,
there's still people.
That's valid.
Like, there's still people who engage with Lovecraft's works, and everybody knows he was a raging, like, racist and xenophobe.
Lunatic, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Right.
But what do you, I guess my question is, how do you handle it then? Do you read a book and try to remain sort of skeptical of the book and skeptical of the author? Or do you, because you can't know every author's beliefs and prior actions.
Yeah. And honestly, I think to go into a book looking for something wrong is to read it in bad faith. And I do not want to be that kind of reader.
Right.
What I do want to be is I will read something process it. I know this is a lot of labor, but this is actually what I enjoy doing. Read something, process it, go through like what I enjoyed about it, what I was meh about it, and what made me uncomfortable or what made me unsure. And I love reading reviews, even like bad reviews, good reviews, middle of the road reviews. Just
all engagement.
Exactly. So I get to see like the way people took different aspects of things or made me think of certain things that, hey, maybe this was well done. Maybe this was, this could have been done better. And it's also up to like how I see like an author sort of like take those and either improve on it or just grind their heels and just like, I'm going to keep doing it this way. One example, I can't believe I'm going back to her.
Okay.
Olivia Bray.
Yes. It always comes back to Olivia Bray.
But like,
we really need to get Libba Bray to start following our podcast.
We love you. Okay.
I didn't like, I'm still uncomfortable with the way the Romani people were portrayed in A Grey and Terrible Beauty.
Okay.
And I know it's supposed to be of the ideas of the time, but there were better ways to portray them, to humanize them, even if they're not main characters. And then I see there's this improvement. You go from like that and then to Beauty Queens, where she has this inclusive group of women, different perspectives. You even have trans women before it was quote unquote socially acceptable to make their stories mainstream. And then from there, then you go to the Diviners, another inclusive group of characters. And each one, you see progress, and then you see Under the Same Stars. You have another cast that's very, I hate saying this, diverse.
Yeah.
But they have different perspectives on things. They have different goals, motivations. They have different backgrounds. So, like, you can tell if an author is trying their best. And you can tell if an author wants to do right by the people they are portraying. Even if their roles are quote unquote small, they're never just plot devices.
I get that.
So yeah, for me, and this is kind of tangentially, this is kind of why I say AI can never make art, can never write, because the sum of a person's experiences and beliefs and emotions go into that art, and AI could never replicate that. So if I separate the art from the artist, to me that almost kind of equates to maybe AI can make art because it's so many degrees separate from human
but let me throw this wrench
Yeah.
in the thing. How do you feel about authors? I just thought of this because you asked me to send you pictures and my list of favorite books. My favorite book growing up, Island of the Blue Dolphins, written by Scott Odell.
Right.
That man has had no right writing that book, but it won a lot of awards. It was one of my favorite books growing up because I read about a person, a very strong female protagonist on an island surviving on her own.
Well, and certainly that story, when it was published, would not have been published if it was not a mainstream author.
So that, for me, that's me separating the artist from the work, because I see that book as a glimpse, I guess, of that time period that it was that I read it as a kid and enjoyed it and took it with. I wasn't thinking about author's intention when I was like 9 or 10 years old when I picked it up. I'm thinking of the story. I was looking, believe it or not, it was funny when I sat down and thought about the books I wanted. What is it? The year Jackie Robinson and the Boar? I forget.
Yeah.
I apologize.
The year of Jackie Robinson and the Boar.
That was one of the very first books I took out of the library. I specifically remember this, and I was blown away because a Chinese girl as the main character, that blew my mind. I'm like, excuse me? That to me was amazing. And I devoured that book, and it still stays with me because, again, I saw somebody else in the book, and that made me happy as a kid. So I guess in my defense, in saying I try to separate the art from the artist, I want to give a kid, a teen, a parent, an adult, a book that I know has a strong voice, a strong character, and I want to share that with, I love this story because, of this. I love it because I saw myself in this. So in a way, I get it. I'm not going to buy like an entire volume of new Harry Potters to be released, like, to give her money.
Right.
But in a sense, I will still read Harry Potter with my kids, like, when they're old enough. So,
well, and I think also there's something, this got me thinking about Huckleberry Finn.
Yeah.
And, I read James, loved it, and then wanted to go back and read Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. And I think I don't have to agree with what an author's portrayal or an author's point of view. I think sometimes it's almost the point, maybe, to be reading and resisting almost.
Okay.
Like reading this and saying, I cannot believe how often we're going to say the N-word. I can't believe that this man's wife has been sold. I can't believe, and that I think was part of it for me, was the resistance to I don't want to go into whether or not Mark Twain felt that way, but the way it was written was very offensive, and yet I still feel it's worth reading.
Okay.
So that I can it'll help me solidify what I found offensive. Why do I find that offensive?
Right.
It goes back into banning books.
Yeah.
We were just talking about this earlier. Mein Kampf, we have it in the library. Do we agree with it? No.
No, exactly.
But
we don't believe in censorship in here.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting pickle. I think that's the thing that comes right down to is there a real way to do this? I don't know.
I mean, I'm not gonna.
We need a comment out of Miss Olivia over here. She's over here trying to.
I think that like context is really, really important, and I think that a person can have a reaction based on reading a book, and then also know the context that it was, existing in at the time.
Right.
Because if you're 10 years old and you're reading Harry Potter and you don't know who J.K. Rowling is, that's going to be really, really different from existing in a world where J.K. Rowling is very, very vocal about her transphobia, and it's really destructive to the LGBTQ community, because that's going to affect your interpretation of the work that she makes.
Right.
And so I think it's important just to kind of, like Rosa said, know the good, the bad, and the ugly of everything, because that's going to inform your decisions about the world. And so as a reader, if you're coming curiously about kind of everything and not just going in and saying, oh, well, I'm going to read this book because I like it, and I'm not going to, focus on any of the bad parts about this author, I feel like that's one thing, but reading a book because of you're curious about the entire situation is another. But then at the same time, if you're reading, we do live in a capitalistic society, and you are inevitably contributing to that author's overall clout by
But if you check it out in the library, you're contributing a little bit less.
Yes.
Because we can try and get 100 different people reading one book as opposed to buying 100 different books.
I think every opinion is valid, and I think coming at it as a reader, it just shows just how in tune you are with yourself and what you can tolerate and what you can't tolerate, right? I know for me, during certain times of the year, I can't read things or I can't watch certain things, especially now as a mom.
Oh yeah,
there are just some things I can't do or can't get into, or a genre that I just can't read. So I guess it really depends on, who are you giving the book to, and how do you feel about them reading it? Because it is again, it's hard to separate the artist from the, there are instances where they can, but again, I think we're doing a lot of disservice by saying you can't read that book.
Oh, yeah.
Because of blah, 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 blah.
Well, I think the critical reading and thinking about what you've read and maybe talking about what you've read can be life-changing. Whether it's good stuff or not.
I don't know if we answered your question at, what is it? Sparkly? Whatever.
No.
I don't know. Do we have time for another? Not so deep, maybe?
Yeah.
That was a good question, though.
That was a great. That was an
Wild
excellent-
Serenity Walks.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank
Wild
you.
Serenity Walks. At Donald Lore says, what are your favorite digital resources at the library that a lot of patrons don't know about?
Hoopla. Definitely. I mean, I like Hoopla. Hoopla's fun. Libby's good too.
Yes.
Yeah, I think a lot of people know about Libby, but Hoopla's a great resource as well.
Not only do you get ebooks, you can get audiobooks, you can get music, you can get
Movies.
TV shows,
movies,
Yeah.
graphic
And there's
novels.
no waiting.
I think, there's no waiting. You don't even have
Yeah.
to worry about returning it. They just take it off your device when it's due. It's
Right.
great.
And Libby's pretty
They
amazing.
do set a limit though. So
Yeah.
like once you reach your limit for the month, you have to wait till the new one.
Yeah.
That's the only downfall. But it's fair. Whatever.
And I think novelist.
Oh, okay.
Which,
yeah.
it's
That's a deep cut, Britt.
Thanks. I like it though. We often get asked for recommendations for books, and obviously we read a lot, but we can't. Well, maybe Rosa can.
Rosa
but the rest of
definitely,
us can't have read everything.
Rosa has a really
Rosa reads a
crazy
lot.
memory. She'll
Yes.
remember like the smallest detail from a book.
Well, and she
read,
reads
like,
so much.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know how many have you read so far this year. Do you know? Do you have a list of count?
178.
Oh my God.
170.
I
And the
don't
year's
have
not
that
done.
time. I do not have that time.
I read like 6.
I read like maybe, like 8.
So anyway,
Do
novelist.
picture books count?
Do picture books? Yes.
Oh, yeah. They should.
I read On Account of Gum like 5 times.
There
this
you
week.
go. There you go.
So good.
So I like Novelist, and it is available to Ridgewood card holders. I think you have to, it's on our website, but I think you need to sign in maybe. But it's you can get title read-alikes, you can get author read-alikes, you can get series read-alikes, you can get information on the series,
That's a good one.
like all in
Yeah.
order, if you need to know which books to read after,
first, I actually also thought of something, and this is a shout out to our local history librarian.
Yes.
She has an awesome website, and it's the Heritage Catalog, and you can get like pictures and images from the past. So it's just so funny. Like sometimes she'll share with me, pictures of teens like playing checkers like in the 70s. Like it's so cool. But you can really only get it here in Ridgewood. Sorry about that, folks. But it's a really cool, cool digital resource that we do own and offer to our patrons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
for
all the
anybody-
genealogy.
And for anybody who's not in Ridgewood, connect with your local historian, your local history society. Offer your volunteer services if you can. Like, they need
it. Yeah.
And they would love the help. You're not bothering them.
No.
Yeah.
Libraries are really cool. I feel like everybody just needs to just visit their library and just say like, hey, what do you guys offer? And you get things for free. Like that's amazing to me. So
And the weird thing is I don't know why people, like community members, get intimidated when like trying to access or even just reach out to community services like libraries. Like that's what we're here for. That's what you're paying us for.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
Reach out.
honestly a
Your
mom.
taxes at work.
Yeah, a mom the other day was like, "I'm sorry, I'm keeping you from doing." I'm like, "You're not keep. This is what
this is
what
my
I'm supposed to do.
job."
I get paid to give you book recommendations."
Exactly. You're not taking up our time because we love talking about this too. So
Do I want to be doing statistics or the desk schedule? No, I want to be sitting here talking about Libba Bray and all the awesome books she has to offer. Like, thank you.
If we give you like a stack of books, like it's okay. Like We can put it ourselves on the shelves.
Yeah.
You're not like
No.
Yeah.
you're not
You don't have to
wasting
clean
our
up after yourself. We will
Yeah.
put them away where they go.
Well, I mean, like,
I mean, put them on our carts.
Well,
Yes,
yeah,
like, just don't shelve them, please.
time. Yeah.
I'm thinking of that pile of puzzles when I walked in one evening at 6 o'clock and every one of our puzzles had been dumped and there was nobody.
Oh, that's
Sorry,
fun. That's
sorry.
fun.
Little
It's
bit,
okay. It's
little
okay.
bit of bitterness.
Sorry, sorry.
But also, if we give you a book and you don't like it, that's okay too.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
That's why we have so many books.
And you come back and tell us, I really didn't like it because. If you give me a because, I will find you something else.
So
Exactly.
it doesn't even have to be a because.
Yeah.
I really didn't like it. I don't know. It didn't work
click.
for me.
It didn't click. Like this. You didn't like it because of.
I don't even know why I didn't
I
like
don't
it.
know. I don't know why.
And I think I bought the audio
Did
not
you
knowing
really?
it was available on Libby because I couldn't. It was
Hoopla,
available
yeah.
on Hoopla.
I honestly only found it because I was downloading Taylor Swift's new album and it was on Hoopla and I was like, oh, this is on there too. So I decided to listen to it as well. So yeah, you get it. We're good? We're
good.
All right. Well, we answered 2 questions.
good, yeah.
Within- That was great. That was a good conversation, friends.
Yeah.
And good book recommendations. So we'll see you guys next month. We'll be back with Ashley.
Woo!
Ashley's going to be back. So we're excited to have another dark voice in the crowd.
And there's a special theme.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. Oh no, she
Yeah.
actually. So yeah, tune in, folks.
Olivia's like, what? I'm the producer. What theme are you talking about?
Don't worry about it. We'll tell you later,
I
Olivia.
didn't get an email.
It's a surprise. It's a surprise. All right. Thanks, folks. Have a good day.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the All Booked podcast. If you have a question, you can submit it to us at Ridgewood Library Youth Services on Instagram. Thanks again for listening, and happy reading.